Here's a full ranked match as the DPS Bladesworn. It's not really a duelist, though it can, because it has the might makes right trait, but it's not really as good as a Spellbreaker because full counter just counters, the Bladesworn Dragon Slash. And you can't really support because while you do have decent amount of shout heals, it's not enough. So it's more of a DPS with the Berserker Amulet. But there are some decisions that I've gone through with sort of like trying out different roles to optimize this playstyle. And one of those is to use Sword Warhorn. So not only is the Sword 2 one of the best kind of mobility skills because it's so instant, it's not like the Great Sword where it's a little bit longer term. The Sword 2 is just instant and then you move on. And then the Warhorn 4 is Charge, which removes Immobilize, and you don't really have Immobilize removal because you don't go for Discipline because all the traits in Discipline, while the one that removes Immobilize is good, all the other ones aren't as good on Bladesworn, so you kind of don't want to go Discipline, but you still really want the Immobilize removal. So Warhorn 4 is really good for that, and I also take a Escape Sigil. And you can actually proc your swap sigils by going in and out of the Gun Saber to your Sword Warhorn set. And what's nice is with the Intel Sigil, you can actually get a 100% crit chance on your Dragon Slash by either swapping in or out of the Gun Saber before you use the Dragon Slash because they're on separate cooldowns. And the Warhorn 4 skill gives you a buff called Charge, which makes your next attacks do 10% more damage. So what I like to do is I leave, I use Charge, and that'll also remove Immobilize, so you don't, just stand still while you're doing your Dragon Slash. And then you do a Dragon Slash with the buffs, give yourself for Great Justice, and it will do a ton of damage. And you're not really forced to charge it up all the way because the scaling on Dragon Slash is not the best. You can actually do an instant cast Dragon Slash, and that's pretty good a lot of the time. And that also means it's less predictable because the worst thing about Bladesworn is that it is a little bit predictable, but if you instantly Dragon Slash, it's not as predictable. So here I am in a 1v2 situation. You can see another choice I've made is the Stomp utility instead of Bull's Charge. Bull's Charge is very good for 1v1s and targeting one person, but that means because I've taken the For Great Justice, which is really necessary, I've only got one stun break if I go for Bull's Charge, and because Bladesworn is kind of easy to focus, you really want that second stun break. So I go for Stomp, which is kind of better in team fights anyways. So you can see the Stomp is actually helping me to counter pressure quite a bit, but I can't really get the Rev and the Harbinger both off of me at the same time, so I'm going to go down here. But yeah, that's pretty much the idea behind the build is you want to go into your Sword Warhorn set after you've gained a lot of your flow, and then use Charge, then do a Dragon Slash, and it will do tons of damage. And then after you use your Dragon Slash, you'll probably stun them for a little bit. You want to use the 2 skill in your Gun Saber, because that is a little bit of a backloaded burst, and then the 4 skill is a front-loaded burst, which also has a melee attack and a range attack. So if you use it in melee, it'll hit both times. So it's a really good burst. So you usually like to do the 2 skill, and then it has like a delay into the burst, and then the 4 skill is instant. So you get really good kind of like overlapping of those bursts there into the stun of the Dragon Slash. Now the 3 skill is also pretty good with the very spammability of it because it'll do a decent amount of damage from range, and if you take the Tactics trait, the Cripple will go into an Immobilize, which is also pretty good. Here I'm going to Dragon Slash for 6k, not bad, and yeah, I'm going to be outnumbered here, so I go in line of sight and try to just play safe because my team is regrouping elsewhere. Now I use my stun break to try to get out of the way there. Use the Warhorn 5 there to get a little bit of barrier, give some vigor too. I was just charging Dragon Slash there because I wanted to get some might, which would heal me up, which is nice. Now I'm going to take a 1v1 against an Untamed here. I should really be fighting with my team, but they've already got the kills there, so I'm just going to take this 1v1 until they help me or until I have to leave. So the pet bursts me there, but I land a really nice Dragon Slash from behind the pillar, and I try to projectile reflect with the 4 skill. That's also a projectile reflect, so it's good to know. And I miss all of my 3 skill there, which is unfortunate. I go for a Dragon Slash here, and I instantly use it, and their block is broken because it's unblockable and is stun. And I'm forced to use my stun break to get closer to them. I don't want to, you know, the distance is not good for me. And I see that they come out of stealth. I use my port and get the maximum range of my Dragon Slash there and get them down with the final burst of the gun saber. But they have a rampaged warrior rezzing, and I can't really stop that. So yeah, we're gonna probably have to get out of here. I am pressuring the target quite a bit though still. And yeah, so I just need to survive at this point. And a pretty good Dragon Slash to get out of danger. I'm gonna go into the Warhorn here and just give myself a little bit of barrier and just disengage. Surviving outnumbered is probably good enough in this situation because our team has a 2 cap, but I'm going to push back into the 1v1 against their warrior because, and actually my Vindicator's coming in here as well, so we're going to get the decap and then we're going to probably push the kill here, but they try to hold the node and I'm going to use my Dragon Slash here and they go for the block, but that's a mistake because I have unblockable Dragon Slash. I think a lot of people are not used to that and they panic and they either block something that's unblockable, or it's actually just really hard for people to deal with it because when they are outnumbered, they usually want to use their blocks. And if they do use their block, then they're kind of, you know, they're going to get destroyed by my Dragon Slash. But if they don't block, well, then the Vindicator that's on them is also going to do a lot of damage. So it is really nice for like mind games, the Dragon Slash. And also you can force them to dodge, stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty fun to use the Bladesworn. But we see that the Rev is going into our home, so I'm going to go back into that and try to prevent them from dying. I'm saving my Warhorn 5 to give to my team here. Heal them a little bit, and I go for a Dragon Slash, which lands, but not too much damage into that protection. I don't land a very good stomp there, but they have barrier up anyways, so I'm going to wait and then go for some damage. I have my team is here now, and we get the down. I'm going to final thrust and do a very quick Dragon Slash because I don't want to get interrupted. And now we're just going to chase these kills, and I get the immobilize from my tactics trait there from the Gun Saber 3, and we get the kill. So we're going to go towards mid now. My core Mesmer is not doing too well, but we're going to push into mid and try to get a kill on their Harbinger. I give myself the boons, but I get corrupted. And I do an instant Dragon Slash there because they're generally at the start of a fight, it's best to use it instantly because they're going to dodge it, right? They have all their dodges up, so you don't want to be predictable. But my stomp into the, you can see that was the, what was that, the 3 skill and Gun Saber, just spamming that out like that, and they all crit. Does a lot of damage. So we get that kill, and I'm going to head into far and see what I can get. So like I said, this isn't a pure duelist build, but it can duel. It has a decent amount of sustain from might generation from the unyielding dragon trait, and with the Warhorn it can sort of survive outnumbered, though it's not the best at that compared to Spellbreaker. So I get in combat so I can get some flow, and then I swap to my Warhorn here. I have the Intel Sigil. I sword 2 in, which immobilizes them, but I have to hide behind terrain here, and I'm going to get my charge up, but I can't go for the Dragon Slash because I'm outnumbered, so I have to kite now. And their team is also respawning right now, so I am in a lot of danger. And yeah, their Rev is now going to chase me, and I have to be very careful because I am kind of out of cooldowns. I stomp them off of the terrain here, and I just charge my Dragon Slash there because it gives me might, and if they're not going to come up, well, I don't need to go down to them because I'm getting all my cooldowns back. I'm getting way more value out of extending this fight than they are. So I use my charge and Dragon Slash precast it into the end of their sword 3, and I do like 10,000 damage with the Dragon Slash there, so that's really good. I get the Stomp, and they use their heal. I'm going to wait for it to go out. Yeah, and they're pretty much dead here. I land a pretty good sword 2, but I don't get the final thrust, which is unfortunate, because now they're going to disengage and reset, but I am going to get the full cap because of that. And I'm just charging the Dragon Slash here because there's no reason not to. It'll give me full sustain. So yeah, my team is not doing so well, but we have sides, and the Rev is going to try to take the 1v1 with me, and I'm not hating that, but their Harbinger comes in, so now I'm 1v2. I have to kite again. I'm using my Dragon Slash aggressively, actually. I landed 9k, and their Rev gets hit by some of the collateral damage there. I land 2 of my range shots there, and the Rev almost dies. So they're forced to leave again, and now the Harbinger is trying to take me on, but I use the pillar to hide my animation and land 11k Dragon Slash. So yeah, that's some big damage right there. Get the kill in the 1v2 there. Unfortunately, we didn't kill the Rev, but I think it's probably better that the Rev left, because that allows me to get the kill and the cap. Whereas if they had gone down, that would have been a more complicated situation. I might not have won. But we do get the kill there, which is nice. And our team is actually kind of dying around the map, so I can't just stay here and win off of this node. So instead, I'm just going to go into mid with the swiftness from the Warhorn and try to give some barrier and healing to my ally here. Try to interrupt the enemies chasing them. I get a stomp to revive them. And now we're just going to go for the kill on this Vindicator. I have a lot of my cooldowns up, so it's really valuable to get all of your ammunition up. And I use the charge into Dragon Slash there. Get a really good kill on their Vindicator. Now I want to prevent the decap on our node, but it's not really possible to win at this point because we've lost the rest of the map. And yeah, we're not really in a position to get decaps here. So that is pretty much going to be it. We're going to lose this match. But if you like this kind of content, then like the video, subscribe for more. Check out the links in the description. You know, not all the builds are finalized. We're just testing stuff out. But this seems like a pretty good build and it's pretty fun. So with that being said, I'll see you all next time.